our 2024 lead, we have seen how former President Donald Trump's words can cause consequential damage. Look at his words on the day of the January 6th insurrection. It is that rhetoric that Trump is using once again. I want you to take a listen to the language that Mr. Trump uses here, talking about immigration with the National Pulse. That's a right-leaning website. He's specifically talking about undocumented immigrants coming into the United States.
We know they come from prisons. We know they come from mental institutions, insane asylums. We know they're terrorists. It's poisoning the blood of our country. It's so bad, and people are coming in with disease.
It's poisoning the blood of our country. And then here is Trump last week speaking at a Republican convention in California, talking about shoplifters and looters.
If you rob a store, you can fully expect to be shot as you are leaving that store. Shot.
You heard the applause from the convention goers there. These are just some of the recent examples of Mr. Trump, his rhetoric getting more and more out there. Joining us now to discuss, former New Jersey governor, Republican presidential candidate Chris Christie. Let's posit, of course, Governor Christie, that obviously crime in this country is a serious issue. Obviously, the mess at the border is a serious issue, and I don't want to belittle either of those. But I want to talk about the rhetoric here. Does it concern you hearing terms like poisoning the blood of our country when we're talking about immigrants?
Yeah, look, I mean, this is, one of the biggest problems with Donald Trump. And in the end, he's taking serious issues, like you said, like immigration and security at the border, like crime and law and order in our country. And he's demeaning them and diminishing them by using this kind of stuff. This is what he did in 2016, Jake, when he said, about the immigration issue, he was going to build a big, beautiful wall across the entire border, and Mexico was going to pay for it. Set expectations that he didn't come close to meeting, and also at the same time gave a poisonous rhetoric to it that made the country more angry and more divisive. And, fact is, the problems of looting and robbing in our cities are huge problems. But the way to fix them is not shooting people. The way to fix them is to arrest them and send them to jail.
Right.
That's not happening with a lot of local prosecutors. And what I've said is, when I'm president, the Attorney General of the United States will instruct the United States attorneys in these particularly dangerous cities to go in there and enforce the law against violent crime like looting and robbery and assault and all the rest, and we'll prosecute them federally. That's the way to do it in a system of laws, not vigilante justice.
So the poisoning the blood language is an article in the New York Times today where people are talking about that being evocative of language used by Hitler in Mein Kampf. And look, it's been pointed out by the head of the ADL that, no one thinks that Donald Trump is particularly a historian. He's not, although he has, certainly there have been reports of him reading Mein Kampf in the past. But beyond that, like the language of dehumanizing people is one that a lot of individuals find troubling when you're talking about immigrants. They're poisoning the blood of the country.
All of that type of rhetoric, Jake, is beneath the office that he held and that he wishes to hold again. We need a president who shares our values. We need a president who is not going to speak that way. This projects our image all around the world. And it's an awful image to project, to be saying those things. And like I said, it doesn't lead to fixing the problems. When I travel around to talk to voters, what they're most upset about is that government's not fixing their problems. When they see the fiasco on Capitol Hill this week with Kevin McCarthy being vacated from the speakership, and then they hear Donald Trump maybe wants to become speaker, then he doesn't. I mean, that kind of circus doesn't lead to the world or people inside our own country feeling like our government is serious and seriously trying to solve the huge problems we have with law and order, with immigration, with inflation, with educational standards being diminished. There are big problems in this country we have to deal with. And rhetoric like that is not only divisive and ugly, it is counterproductive to us getting the job done.
On the subject of immigration, how would you secure the border while ensuring that any migrant who is legally able to seek asylum is able to do so, and making sure that these individuals are treated humanely if they are able to legally seek asylum?
Well, for the people who all say, I'm going to secure the border and make it stronger, but don't say anything beyond that, once again, they're selling out in a way that is just pandering to people and their rightful concerns about the border. So let's talk about it, Jake. Over the last 11 months, the average has been 200,000 apprehensions at the border by Customs and Border Patrol. You know how many beds we have for people who we want to detain? 38,000 total. And we have 200,000 a month people being apprehended. We can't fix this problem right now that way, so we need to do a combination of things. I'd double the number of beds that we had available to detain people. I would triple the number of immigration judges that we have to move these asylum hearings along much more quickly. And I'd add 10,000 Customs and Border Patrol officers, and on day one, sign an executive order to send National Guard down there to help supplement them, especially on the issue of drugs getting across our border, since we had 110,000 people die last year of overdose. That's where you start. And then, Jake, we have to get to a merit-based immigration system where we incentivize filling the 6 million open jobs we have in this country with people who want to come here and work, and we pick them on merit. The places where we need help, we bring people in legally to be able to fill those jobs and help to grow our economy. That all in combination will help to secure the border because it will disincentivize illegal crossings. We'll get those people processed much more quickly. We won't just release them for 4 or 5 years. That's the stuff we need to do, Jake. And that's a realistic plan as opposed to shooting people stone cold dead.
Right. Another comment from Mr. Trump. Republican presidential candidate and former that's a comment from Governor DeSantis.
That was Ron DeSantis.
Sorry. Sometimes I get confused.
Yep.
Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, thank you so much. Appreciate it.